number of people tagged me because my prediction on that Dalton Kincaid touchdown. Listen, I did pick the Bills to lose the game. Wrong.
You did.
But I predicted a Dalton Kincaid touchdown, not quite to the yard line. It was also 3rd and 8, and I said it would be 2nd and 5. But
pretty close, though.
But it was the play I thought we would see because he catches these touchdowns where, he kind of breaks open, and he ends up catching the ball and sauntering into the end zone, and he did.
Yep.
So Bills win 28-21. I've got a Twitter poll up, Bills fans. Victory Monday. I get the feeling that not a lot of people expected a victory Monday. Plenty of you did, but they were underdogs in this game, and a lot of people were feeling not so good about the offense and not so good about the defense. I have a Twitter poll from earlier in the week. 65% of like 5,000 people that voted, Joe, said, I don't feel good about either matchup.
Yeah.
And the Bills looked very good in both of those matchups. And I don't know if you want to say dominate the Chiefs, but man, it was it's a game script we've not yet seen between these two teams where the Bills are routinely harassing Patrick Mahomes in the backfield.
Yep.
They hit him 15 times. They had him under pressure on 52% of their dropbacks. So it was quite impressive from this Bills team, the way they put it all together. And I feel like it might have been Sean McDermott's most complimentary football win in the history of complimentary football. What didn't they do?
They did everything.
They didn't make a kick.
One kick. Yeah.
That kick would have been the most complimentary football. The doink off the upright stopped the full complimentary football, but everything else worked. They passed the ball. They ran the ball. They stopped the run. They stopped the pass. 4th and 17. Other than that, I'm sure people will want to talk about that play, but still.
Maybe.
It's just a banner day for the Bills.
They had and what was one thing that was picked apart and on purpose, like to be fair, like sometimes it gets labeled as they're being doubted when it's like, no, they're just not doing something. Yeah. And that was downfield passing.
Yep.
Like that was under the microscope because they hadn't been doing it. And yesterday, the Bills had as many 20-plus yard passes, air yard deep passes, as they had in the previous 6 games.
Yeah. Well, it looks good when they do it.
How about that? Kincaid, Knox, Elijah Moore. 3 20-plus yard completions yesterday. They had 3 since the Baltimore game. I mean, even that was working. When they wanted it to, at least. And the run game worked. The pass defense worked. The secondary looked good.
Secondary looked so good.
The pass rush was that the best day the pass rush has ever had against Patrick Mahomes for the Bills? I mean, I guess statistically it has to be, right? He got hit as many times as he ever has.
Hit a bunch. He didn't scramble. That's the other thing. They didn't
let him scramble.
They limited him to 1 carry for 5 yards.
Right.
Which is incredible. The season he's had, he's been scrambling quite a bit, and he did not against the Bills.
I'm thoroughly impressed. I mean, I was one of those people. I did not think they were going to win this game. I kind of thought it was very possible they were going to get smoked in this game. They were going to get rocked by the Chiefs at home. And it looked like in the second half that it might be the other way around.
Yeah.
I mean, if the Chiefs don't convert that 4th and 17, I mean, the Bills were going to be having the ball in pretty good field position up 15?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that game could have got ugly really quick. And the 4th and 17 does keep it alive, and then it's alive until the very end. But man, like I couldn't be more impressed with what the Bills did yesterday. And how it relates to the deadline now is interesting because you might have felt yesterday, some might have I don't know that this team is worth going all in right now the way that they look. And now, I want to be careful not to make it super meaningful for this matchup again.
Yep.
They are to play again in the playoffs. But it was a big game for the standings. New England won. And Denver won. So the Chiefs, that's a big loss for them. They're 2 games back now, and they play Denver this week. That's a huge game for them, too. The Bills, I mean, you want to keep pace with New England. Beating a team like that, I think, is huge. Because I wasn't expecting it going in. I really wasn't.
Same. The Chiefs' offense had been rolling, and they had kind of a brutal day. They just did not have answers. Honestly, I thought Nate laid it out pretty well in the postgame show, and he tweeted this as well, that Mahomes yesterday looked like Josh Allen has looked for the last 3 weeks, which is a guy that's back there and doesn't feel right, doesn't feel comfortable in the pocket. I know that they're
searching for somebody to get open down the field, which is incredible.
Yeah, but they were so sticky in coverage.
That might be my number one thing to feel good about out of yesterday. I mean, maybe you can answer a million different things, but their ability to cover those receivers. I know that not all these plays Mahomes had a lot of time, but there were some of them where he did.
I thought he had plenty of time.
And Hairston was right there in coverage all the time. Bishop had his best game as a Bill. Whenever him and Hancock are out there together, it just feels like they're covering space. They're so much more athletic.
Yep.
When they've got a secondary out there of Benford, Bishop, Hairston, and Hancock, it is so night and day different than the secondary they began the season with that had Trey White, Taylor Rapp on it. I think it's totally different. And I think it's part of what helped them against Kansas City.
Oh, for sure. I know the pass rush will get lots of the attention, and justifiably so. But Mahomes, I said this during the week, he's the best quarterback in football once you get past his first read. So, the first read's not there. Now I'm going to make something happen. And the Bills owned him on that. He did not make too many plays off the first read. There were a couple breakdowns. You'll see some. And I feel like you kind of have to expect that. You're playing the Chiefs, you're going to break down. You're playing Josh Allen, you're going to break down. And yet, like, Hairston was impressive. Bishop, the Cole Bishop game, maybe. 2 months ago, 2 months ago, who had on the predictions that you would feel like Cole Bishop is one of the top 3 players on the defense instead of the guy who's fighting for the job?
Right. I mean, he is in position. It's a fourth down. How many times on a fourth? Was it 4th and 3 early in the game for Kansas City? How many times have you seen Mahomes take the snap, ball comes out immediately, Kelsey's done that little stick route where he jogs 4 yards forward, he turns around, and nobody can get around him. So it's just a completion every time. How many times have you seen that play work?
A million.
500 times in his career, and Bishop's just on it. Like he knows exactly that is exactly where that play is going, and he's fast, but he's got the size to get around Kelsey and knock that ball away. I mean, Bishop. There was the Cole Bishop play earlier in the year, right? The end of the half against New Orleans, where he made like an insane interception, but complete game. Yeah, that was a game. The secondary was just so good yesterday.
Because the Chiefs have beaten the Bills with quick game, and they couldn't get anything going in that department. They tackled well the secondary when they got in space.
Yep.
They hit hard. Got somebody in the chat pointing out and calling out that Bishop hit on Kelsey. Like, man, Cole Bishop
smoked him.
He lit him up. And Kelsey, he got through it and kept playing. Anyway, it's a Victory Monday. Give us a ring, 803-0550, 1-888-552-550. We'll talk about what it means, all of it. I feel like, there's apology forms, right? People like their apology forms when you apologize. If you thought Josh Allen's bad, here's an apology form. Sean McDermott takes over play calling. I know the bigger conversation is the playoffs and all that.
Yeah.
But you want a more aggressive defense. You want them to not be so bend but don't break. And that's what they were yesterday. They were much more aggressive. They were able to hit Mahomes. They crossed him up on a blitz from Christian Benford. They had him looking like he never looked before. The fact that Patrick Mahomes had his career low completion percentage in this game, to me, that says a lot. Full boat of his weapons, and their line started to fall apart. There's no doubt about that. Like in Kansas City, that line, they might have concerns. Again, they lost their left tackle during this game.
Josh Simmons was already not playing.
He was already out, right. So, like,
Juwan Taylor got hurt. I don't know if he returned.
It started to kind of fall apart on the offensive line, and the Bills were just merciless. And that's probably what Sean McDermott wants, is to get them one-dimensional. What you saw the Chiefs be yesterday is, I think, what McDermott fears the Bills become, which is, all right, they can't run the ball. They have to throw it, and I'm teeing off on their quarterback. That's what the Bills were able to do.
Yeah.
The Chiefs running the ball, there's the occasional Kareem Hunt run, but
not much.
Not much.
Not much.
And, in fact, the last drive of the game, I thought it was malpractice. The Chiefs are out here running on first down, running on 2nd and 2. Are they doing it to protect the offensive line and protect Mahomes because he's been hit too much? Maybe. Why?
Yeah.
But anyway, lot to get to. And, of course, my favorite moment of the entire game when Gene Steratore did not know a rule and said, I don't see why not, regarding a challenge.
Because it was an intentional grounding and not a pass interference?
Yes, that's right. I don't see why not.
Is that what happened?
Because he said, I don't see why not.
I was watching the game without the CBS sound up, so I didn't know he said that because we were like, I don't think you can challenge that for intentional grounding.
I don't think you can challenge
Gene
that.
Didn't know that, though?
He literally said, you can challenge on a pass interference, and with this, I don't see why not.
It's like, well, Gene, it's not a pass interference. So
Right. That's
seemed like a Romo. Where are you?
That's
Get him on
index card Sterator, who, improvised with an index card that one day, just decided,
Yeah.
you know what, if it was me, I'd take some artistic license up there, and I'd say, like, sure, guys, let's challenge it.
Do we think they took it up another level than we went through some of the numbers earlier last week? Like the Bills' defense has performed well against the Chiefs in the regular season. Like they force a lot of punts.
Yeah.
They get their turnovers.
Well, if I give you the numbers,
but
it's
these
gonna...
are career low completion percentage, career high getting hit. Like, is this kind of the same thing, but they took it up another level?
If you want to say that, you can. It depends. Like, do you like the story better or do you like the numbers better? I had told you that in the regular season, the Chiefs' points per drive against the Bills is what? 2.
2, right?
2.
Yeah, and it's like 3.7
in the playoffs.
Yeah.
3.6 in the regular
3.6.
season. The Bills against Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs scored 2 points per drive. They
Yep.
had 21 points yesterday. How many drives? 10. 2.1. So
in line with
it was about the same.
Yeah.
If you want the numbers, it was about the same. Does it feel better? Did it look better? Did it look like a more sustainable brand? Because what you want to do, of course, against the Chiefs is you're not worried about the 2 number. 2 points per drive in the regular season is not ghastly. It's fine.
Yeah.
What you want to do is translate that to the postseason where you give up 3.6 points per drive, which is horrific. It's like you're playing the 07 Patriots every game. You get that down to 2, and then maybe you beat that team. So, we saw some of the Bills' vision of what they can be defensively come together. Of course, it's already gone now with Michael Hoecht out with an Achilles injury, and maybe you think he's so important or someone that's going to do his role is so important that the deadline shifts to now go get a Michael Hoecht replacement. Is that Jalen Phillips? Could be. The Dolphins are open for business to sell off some pieces after firing their GM. And maybe the Commanders are going to sell off now because they lost their starting quarterback, Jaden Daniels, to a dislocated elbow in a blowout loss. Their season might as well be over.
How's Von Miller been playing?
He's been okay from what I understand.
Don't think he's someone that's ever come up in our former Bill, future Bill draft.
It's not a terrible idea, but he's not exactly the same as Hoyt. Either way,
right? Yeah.
If that's something they specifically need, the receiver conversation I think is still there, and again, maybe even more so because if you think you're great, what's the thing you want to shore up to make sure you have a chance to win it and one thing doesn't defeat you? And for the Bills, the list of positions we would have thought for that, the deadline's tomorrow. We would have thought maybe safety. All right, now that's looking short up a little bit.
Yep.
Corner definitely looks really good because Max Hairston looks like he can play. Defensive tackle, all right, you might have some needs there still. I don't think you have a needed edge, but you could still add a Hoyt replacement. And then receivers, the other one. So what will Brandon Beane do in the next 48 hours? We'll find out. But the deadline's tomorrow, and I think they should consider buying. Then again, the league hasn't really bought. Are we going to get 5 trades in the league today? The Patriots lose Keyshawn Butte to a hamstring injury. How serious is that?
They could be on a receiver.
Would they act on that?
I saw something about New England and Rashid Shaheed, which
wouldn't surprise me.
I mean, they're throwing the ball down the field. Just give him another guy. Like the Bills yesterday, for all the things they did, and they didn't really need it, but how much contribution did they have from the outside receivers yesterday?
Very little.
They didn't really need it because
they didn't need
Dalton Kincaid is the guy that should be feasting in this offense, but Coleman wasn't really much of a factor. I don't even know where he lined up on that big play he had.
In a big play,
but that was pretty much it.
Yeah,
it
never.
It's fine.
I don't say it never crossed my mind, but I don't think it's a game we come off thinking like, oh, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. Not every game's going to go that way, and you're trying to protect against all things.
And I do think part of yesterday not needing Coleman to have a game, not needing Curtis Samuel or more to have more than one catch each, was that when Allen dropped back and you needed somebody to get open down the field, Kincaid was doing it.
Yep.
And that has been happening all year. When he's on the field. I don't know what his snap count ended up being yesterday. I know he's still battling injury stuff. Even Allen alluded to that in the postgame. But this passing offense has looked at its best by far this season when Kincaid is the focal point of the passing game. There's no doubt about it.
Well, just to give you some numbers on the passing game, you had longs from 4 different pass catchers of 47, 20, 30, and 28.
47 from Kincaid.
47 from Kincaid on one play, 20 from Shakir, 30 from Knox, 28 from Elijah Moore, even 18 yards from Jackson Hawes.
That was the flip pass.
Yeah. So you had explosive plays in the passing game. And this is a recipe. If you told me what's going to come out of this game that's going to really test me on, I think you might believe in them, dude. It's going to be, can they pass and stop the pass? That's always the most important. And they look like a team that can pass and stop the pass, not against Andy Dalton, but against one of the best, and Patrick Mahomes. So we'll get your calls, 803-0550. It's a Victory Monday, lots to break down, and we're here to talk about it with you, Jeremy and Joe, here on WGR. Right to the phones, right to Mo in New Jersey on Victory Monday. Mo, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Always great to talk to you guys after a victory, especially against the Chiefs. Admittedly, this is not the type of phone call I thought we would be having last week. If you want to send me that form, I'll sign an apology form because I thought for sure we were going to lose this game. And it's not that I didn't have confidence in this team. I just didn't see this Josh Allen since the fourth quarter of the Baltimore game, right? And whatever it took for him just to click and get going, I love it. And this team, the way they played the first three quarters, and I'm not saying they played terrible in the fourth quarter, but the way they played the first three quarters, there's nobody that can beat this team in the NFL if you ask me. But the problem is, and I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, that loss of Hoyt for the rest of the season is really going to hurt us. He really brought that pass rush together, and they were relentless yesterday. And same thing in Carolina, but you know what? I put more credence in the game yesterday than the one against Carolina. And I was so excited to see him for the rest of the season. It just, for me, I just want to say, hey, we have to go. We got to make a trade, make this happen, make that happen. Go get a guy like the Lions did, right? They did that last year. Not that they won the Super Bowl, but go get a guy. Go get Hendrickson. Go get Max Crosby. Go get somebody. There's somebody that we can in our ears and say this guy is going to be what Hoyt could have been for us. Because with that type of pass rush, I've seen this recipe win Super Bowls. Get a defensive line that can stop the run, get to the quarterback, let everybody do their job behind you. And get, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. And you know, all the credit goes to Sean McDermott. The last 2 weeks, I think he is calling the plays now. And if that's what we need, let's just get it done.
Yeah, thanks, Mo. I mean, these ideas of the big defensive ends, I don't know how it's happening. It's huge money. Hendrickson is big money, and Crosby is big money and big cap hits as well.
Do they need Hendrickson though? Do they need a top I don't want to make it sound like I think Hoyt's a bad player or anything. I think he was pretty incredible through 7 quarters.
Yep.
Like 7 quarters, the impact he made was greater than I thought he was even going to provide. His rush from the inside, really mostly, right? Like when they are in passing downs and he's rushing from the inside, their pass rush looked awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely think he's valuable. But how irreplaceable should a guy be that is the 36th highest paid defensive end in the NFL, whose career high in 5 seasons is 6 sacks?
And that's not taking anything away from him.
I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm just
they should be able to replace what he does without going to all the way to Trey Hendrickson.
I don't think you should need to trade a first-round pick for an edge rusher. To maybe the hardest thing to replace about him is not even about the sacks or the production. It is somebody that can be so effective kicking inside and outside.
Right.
And maybe that's the tougher thing, is that specific versatility to replace. Because again, it's 15 sacks in 5 seasons for him. It's not like he is an all-pro player they have to try to replaase. I think they could do it. They could probably replace him for a day 3 pick.
He's a
piece. They find the right guy.
He's a piece. Is Jalen Phillips more that piece? Maybe. It's more of the type of defensive end you'd be talking about.
Sure.
Hendrickson's base salary is $22 million. I had it up here. His cap is $25. You're not shooting for the moon here.
Yeah,
I don't think.
That.
I do wonder though. I don't exactly know cap stuff and how it works, but Hoyt being out for the year, IR, do they get some money back on the cap because the player's not being used?
That's when we start getting into insurance policy stuff that teams save cap on, which is way over my head. I know it exists.
Same. So maybe that's the answer. Maybe receivers the answer still. I mean, again, I look at it as you look at any team. Wait a minute, you're good enough to win the Super Bowl. That's the time to finish out the last few final pieces, finishing pieces.
Yep.
A win is maybe more of a reason to make the trade that you wanted to make than a loss would have been, where it's all right, the division looks far away. You're probably going on the road in the first round. Instead, it's bolster the lineup, fight for that first round bye, which you're back in the mix for. You still have a big hill to climb, but you're still back in the mix.
Nobody in the AFC has fewer losses, right?
Yep.
2 losses. Indy, New England, Buffalo, Denver. Right? Those are the four. Those are the 4 teams. Now, some of those teams have 7 wins, and the Bills have 6.
Well, right now, New York Times playoff machine puts it at about 25% to get the bye, which I bet all 4 of those teams are about 25%. Like, it depends. The Colts have a really tough schedule. The Bills have a very easy schedule. The AFC West, of course, is going to cannibalize itself to some degree, you would think.
Yep.
So get the job done, get by New England, and you're off and running for a 1 seed. It's back on.
It might be Bills and Patriots for it.
It really
might, because those 2 teams have the easiest schedules of the group. So it really might just be who wins the AFC East could end up being the 1 seed.